What's up, everybody? Team Override, and I'm ready to bring the pain for you with Dr. Roto this week. Oh, yeah, for another hard hits review. Oh, yeah. Are you ready to bring the pain? Yeah. I mean, the Rams didn't really bring the pain last night on Monday. Get punked by the Dolphins 23-15. What's up, guys? What's up? Hordes up. I mean, we should have been able to beat them. We did not. This is one of those games you got to win. Now, next week, are we going to do the same thing with New England? We're just going to let New England run down our throats? Yeah. Sometimes I get a little jacked up about this because this was a crazy week. A lot of us, the seasonal week teams, my seasonal teams did great. DFS wise, it was just whatever. As I'll get to that on my Ultra Contrarian show. I did take two losses though this week. So I'd say that I finally got to fall off my tree. Woo, boom. But that's okay though, because I'm still 9-2 on FanDuel with those cash lineups, and I am 7-3 on DraftKings. No, 7-4 on DraftKings. So that's not bad. It's still above 500. But hey, that's what we do. It's just giving out stuff. And honestly, you can't always that was injuries. That was the fight. That was Puka getting a punch. That was Drake getting hurt. So there was nothing. I know that Drake scored, but last week was crazy. You couldn't score with just a guy with 9 points. You know what I'm saying? So that being said, man, that's just crazy. But the Rams need to get back to basics, like in martial arts. When I'm in the dojo with my team, even today, we were studying our basics as we prepare for a tournament this week. But we can only study for our basics if you practice them. What I saw was bad stuff. Okay, so a killer. When the Rams pick off that pass, Rosenboom, and he's returning it back, and they do a penalty, it negated it, and it put us at the 50. Instead, we could have been at the 10. It's mental awareness. That whole game just stunk like that. So I get it sometimes that, my team isn't going to always do good, but it was bad for betting too. I mean, a lot of the bets for my Monday Night Football bets article, that hit. That was it. They're fine, but they barely hit. I got the Tyreek Hill touchdown. I got I got Puka going over 5 catches. I got all that, but at the same time, DFS wise, it was just weird. I won on that on DraftKings. My FanDuel one came up a little short, but in a cash lineup, both lineups hit, and those lineups were free inside the Discord, the subs only Discord at drroto.com. By the way, if you haven't been to the site, we have tons. Doc's Fab article and notes, prescription notes, just hit the site, amongst other things. We have so many things already hitting the site. My IDP hard hits and cool picks article for the waiver wire already hit. And again, at the end of this episode, like always on Tuesdays, I always make sure that you get an IDP player, one IDP player from that article. So make sure you tune in for that. But man, this just leads to know your stuff. Know your stuff when you're playing on FanDuel, both FanDuel, DraftKings, BetMGM, any of the sites, any of them. Know your stuff. And what I mean by of course you know your stuff. You're getting on there, you're doing the stuff. And if you need to know your stuff, you know where we can find us, Dr. Roto. Yeah, come to the doc side. Dig it? But what I'm talking about is, so I have uncovered a problem on the FanDuel Sportsbook. And right now, I brought it up to Doc. So going forward from this point, Dr. Roto and the staff cannot be held liable for my comments, which won't be bad anyway, because I'm not saying anything bad. I'm just saying what I saw. And yes, I will bring this up to FanDuel, and they probably already know what's going on. Hopefully they know what's going on. If they don't know what's going on, I will have more pictures on Thursday. But why I'm saying know your stuff is because what's going on right now is on some of their prop bets for the defensive players, because it's an IDP. This is why I'm watching all the defensive lines. I'm watching the tackles come in. I'm watching the games, and I'm seeing these are not adding up. So I noticed this last week on Thursday with Jermaine Pratt. They had Jermaine Pratt at 15 tackles, but at the time he only 7. But they were offering a number of 8.5, 9. I have a screenshot, but I'm not gonna sit here and do this all day. So I was I thought that was really weird. I was why would they offer a bet? That's already thing. I was and there's no way Jermaine Pratt has 15 tackles at halftime. I was there's no way. So I'm all right, let's go back to the sports book. Let's check it. And I'm watching this grow. And I'm what's going on? It's almost like it's an educated, because how they always give you on your fantasy football apps and you're like, this player's going to score your average points 15.9. Like you're predicted to do this in a week. But it was like that. It was like this guy's going to do 15 tackles at this rate. It was really weird because normally, and for the safeties and defensive players, it wasn't like that. But the other linebackers, actually, safeties were like that. So it's like they're adding a couple, and it looks like the bet already hit. You're looking at 13 tackles, and you're looking at an over of 9.5. You're like, it's already hit. Maybe they missed it. Maybe they didn't pull it down in time. So I'm sitting there, and I'm like, all right. So I'm testing the theory. I'm just throwing in little money. I'm just actually just a dime. I'm just throwing dimes in. But boink, just putting them in, and I'm seeing if they hit. Well, of course, they did hit. Pratt did hit. He did go over what he was supposed to. No, he did. So when I went back to check on Thursday, Pratt didn't hit. But during the game and the next day, they were hit, which actually this happened to the player I'm going to highlight at the end of this podcast. Last night for Miami versus the Rams. It all comes together. That's what we do. That's why we always have the right prescription at Dr. Roto. Yeah, we're kind of experts at this thing. But that being said, at the same time, we're sitting there. Sorry about the grammar thing. We're sitting there looking at it, and I'm like, I know this bet isn't going to hit, but why are the tackles so bloated? Why is there so many tackles? Why is it saying 16 tackles? So, okay, I'll give you a little preview. My IDP player that I'm going to cover is Anthony Walker Jr. And so last night, Anthony Walker Jr. was playing, and they did this again. So while they were doing this, for Anthony Walker Jr., I'm watching it. I'm like, look, I already had the bets in, so the bets were going to hit. So Anthony Walker Jr., at the time that this bet was being offered, had 7 tackles, right? So this is all factual. This is all good. Had 7 tackles, but they were handing out an bet for 9.5 tackles. Now this is 5 minutes, 32 seconds left in the third quarter. I got it all screenshotted, and they have 12 tackles. So you see the 9.5 over, you're seeing a negative 662, which is good odds, and that's strong. And then you're seeing 12 tackles. Well, it's already hit, right? It's already hit, but it hasn't. So if you don't know your stuff, you don't know your stuff, you wouldn't have known that guy. So a normal person could come in and throw $100, $200, $1,000 saying, hey, they must have missed something. This is something. I'm going to throw $1,000 on this. Then throw $1,000, and then the bet doesn't hit. Well, then you're ass out of money. Then you did it. But whose fault is that? Whose fault is that? It's just something I found. It's just something I found. So like I said, with Anthony Walker, I was able to hit. With Jermaine Pratt, Jermaine Pratt was 8.5 at the time, and they had him at 10. So this is the same problem for the Thursday night game and the Monday night game in the past week. So, I'm always hounding. So this just started. It's probably a glitch that they don't know. So FanDuel, if you're watching this podcast, you probably should, or I've probably already reached out to you about it, that you got to fix that. Because honestly, somebody like me, I knew what he had, Anthony Walker Jr. I knew what Jermaine Pratt had at that time, but it wasn't added up, and somebody else won't. They may not think to go do it. They're just going to think in the moment that they're going to go, oh, I'm going to cash this money. I'm going to hit this money before this bet gets taken away. But the whole game, it just keeps rising and rising. You got to connect. You got to fix that. But anyway, I just wanted to bring that up. And I bring that things up like that right there because I am the IDP hero. That's what I call myself. I found out the injustice. Oh, yeah. And I saved you from the day before you make that. So all my subscribers did not go make those bets because I just felt that was a shot. Now I did so that I could have people. So if people say that I'm crazy, well, I got the screenshots and I have the bets. And I have screenshots of the bets before they get taken away because as the Pratt one, you know how they show, 9.5 and 12 over here, right? Well, that gets taken away after a couple days or something like that. So right now, the Anthony Walker Jr. is still fresh. So that's why I had that screenshot. And it's I'm not saying don't play on FanDuel. I love playing on FanDuel Sportsbook. It's amazing. It's just something that come up, and it's something to show why you need to know your stuff. It's something that why subs only Discord at Dr. Roto is very important because you get key lineups for the DFS slates. You get help with the betting, but you also get advice like that. If somebody came across that, I'd be like, look, just don't play that bet right now because you don't really know where it's at. I mean, overall, the 9.5, you can still hit that. He only needed 3 more tackles, and there was over 20 minutes left in the game. But at the same time, I just want to say, hey, your IDP hero got your back. That's why IDP matters at Dr. Roto. Yeah. All right. Let's get to Anthony Walker Jr. for the Miami Dolphins. Man, 9 total tackles and an interception on my boy Matt Stafford. Bro, why you get this guy? Did I know Anthony Walker? Yeah, he's been around the league for years. Cleveland, it just the places like that. It just, for me, what's going on right now is he is getting start over David Long since they're pushing, because David Long kind of really fell off. He used to really be good for the Titans. And then he just said, boom, done. So in the past 2 games, he has got 99%. He got 100% of the snaps last game. And then he got 99% snaps against the Rams. So literally he's playing practically the whole game. And in that time period, he's recorded 19 total tackles and, of course, the interception. He also has a pass defended. So against the Rams, he had an interception, a pass defended, and 9 total tackles to follow up just the 10 total tackles from the previous game. Now that gives you a lot. He's getting work. That means they believe in him. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be a young guy, because I think he's 29 years old. So he's been in there, but he can easily duplicate this going forward next week to the Las Vegas Raiders. I'm not saying he's going to get another interception, but the Raiders quarterbacks aren't good. So why not even try? Why? I mean, he's definitely going to be getting a lot of tackles. I mean, between all the running and just, Brock Bowers over the middle. And then, heck, if they put Ritter back in there, Ritter's going to be running. Everybody's going to be running into Walker's arms. So you can see him easily get 9 or 10 tackles. If you want to play this as a bet, in the article, I have Anthony Walker making 7 tackles. So go ahead and play the 7 tackle bet when it's available. If it's available, may not be available. It's only Tuesday. Again, the waiver wires have not hit. That's why he's available. And over in 9, you need to go pick up an old vet that's getting some player time and has a great schedule going up. Miami can't lose. They're in the do or die situation. This is their playoffs. 1 loss, they're completely out of it. That's why they got to win. And hey, we all know. So everybody, have a great day. And always remember to bring the pain. And don't call me out. I'll always come back at you. I see you, Jimmy.